When I explain the Wintu family history to my children, I usually start with the Philpott Cemetery. In a sense, it's the end, but in another sense, it's the beginning of the story. Mary Crockett was a full-blood Wintu Indian. At the age of 14, she married Alexander Philpott. Alexander came from Kentucky to mine in the California gold fields. When they married, they had a very large family. Most of the family is buried in the Philpott Cemetery in Ono. My great-grandmother was one of their daughters. Her name was Lydia, and she's buried in the cemetery.
Jack Potter Jr., a Redding Rancheria tribal member, lineal descendant of Mildred Philpott Rhodes. Mose Philpott was the son of Alexander Columbus Philpott and Mary Crockett. His sister was Lydia Philpott. Lydia Philpott's Catherine's mother.
My name is Lydia Dart LaPearl. I was born in Westwood, Lassen County, California. My mother, Isabel Sorahan, went into labor on December 28, 1934. Since I was a breech birth, my first 3 months I spent with my grandmother, Catherine Stieber.
From my grandmother, Mildred Rhodes, or Mildred Philpott. She told me who all she was related to on the rancheria. She said Catherine was her cousin, that was her aunt's daughter. My grandma said she was always like a dependable babysitter. If grandma had to run to town, she knew she could just leave the boys, my dad and my Uncle Philip. So she knew the boys would be okay. She never had to ask her, can you watch the kids? She would just drive by, wave, and Catherine knew that wave meant the boys are there.
Catherine Lowry Stieber lived on the Redding Rancheria, which was once called the Clear Creek Rancheria, from 1930s to 1975. She was one of the original distributees. Her small house was located across the street from what is now the tribal offices.
And I got to know Catherine when I was just a young man. The house was really old. It must have been back there in the early 1900s. I mean, when they got the land and all that. Because when I was 13, they started building the house. So they just kept me on the weekends. I must have worked for her about a year, off and on, doing this and that. Treated me well. She was about the only one on the flat you could get a job from, too, because she was doing more than the rest, I believe. They had ducks, geese, you name it, they had it. And they took care of that land. That's something I noticed right from the start with both them guys. They knew how to take care of themselves. Nobody had to tell them what to do. They did what they knew to do.
Today, when we take our children out to the Philpott Cemetery in Ono, it's hard to realize how much history has taken place since Mary Crockett married Alexander Philpott in 1857. As one of Catherine's granddaughters, I am now a tribal member and am also the oldest elder at this time.